mentioned, okay, but look, hear what he said. This was just 4 years ago. April before, first to be 4 years. He said at that time we had 98,000 licensed representatives. Today, under his leadership, we're over 130,000. Okay? We talk about reinvesting in your people and growth. Folks, our field compensation was just over 500 million. Last year, we just came a bit short of 800 million. Okay? And one of the things in the business world, they look at great CEOs, they look at the value, how you grow your business. But public company CEOs are looked at, what do you create for shareholders? If you saw that clip, our stock was $50 and they were saying we've outperformed the S&P and all this stuff like that. But here, we reached a high under his leadership from 50 in just 4 years to $128. So we talk about, I understand we talk about, it starts with a Simple Life app, it starts with the $25 a pack, and it starts with that, but he takes all of that and puts it at a different level and created in a 4-year period billions of dollars of market cap value to shareholders. I want you to understand this morning that you're going to hear from, in my opinion, the greatest CEO in the world. Okay? Somebody who leads by example. Hard work, discipline. Okay? Every time I think about slowing down Canada, I think about, so we got to say what Glenn's doing. Glenn and Karen, they're going at it. They're working in this business. They're leading. Great example. Great friend. Great father. Great husband. Great family man. Great values, folks. Him and Karen exemplifies God, family, business. And I can tell you, I grew up in the business with him. Kenji and I grew up in this business with him. When he says something, you don't need to see it in paper. He's a man of his words. And is a man who loves his company. I was here last night with us at our home at the district graduation. And here's more. So let's give a legacy builder welcome to our friend, our CEO, our leader, the incredible Glenn Williams. Thank you. Wow, thank you so much. Thank you, Bobby, for those kind of words. Thank you, everyone. It is great to be back in Canada on a beautiful, warm spring day. It is so exciting to be here. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you, Candy, for being such gracious hosts and such great leaders. It was so much fun at their home last night. Just enjoyed getting a chance to visit with some of you and spend some time together. You know, Karen and I miss it here. Not necessarily when it's 0 degrees in March, but we miss it here. We just value our 15 years together with all of you here from 1985 to 2000. It's hard to believe we've been back in Atlanta now longer than we lived here. You know, we've been back there 19 years on April the 1st. And my accent tells it. It's a lot thicker than it was when I lived here. But it is great to be back. It's great to be with you today. I apologize in advance. I do have a very tight schedule today, headed to the African American Leadership Council event to close it out tonight in Orlando, where it's a little warmer. But I did want to spend a few minutes with you together and just share kind of where we are. I appreciate those kind of words of introduction. I appreciate being here with all the great Legacy Builder leaders. You are so blessed to have such a great leadership team leading this great organization. I'm honored to be here with the great Miguel Illich, my great friend and teammate, who I guarantee you is going to light this thing up when you get a chance to hear from him. But I can tell you, we can all go home now because Andrew and Norlene said it all. They said it all already. They told the whole Primerica story already this morning. And it's just such an honor to follow them. But let me find out who's out here now. Who is here at your first big Primerica event? This is the largest Primerica event you've ever attended. Stand up right now so we can recognize you. If you're our giving folks, there are special guests. Look at this all around. New people. Thank you for being here. And congratulations. You may be in a state of shock. Because it probably doesn't work like this at your job. People don't show up on on Saturday, excited, looking forward to the day, looking forward to becoming a better person, a better parent, a better partner, a better leader. This is a different place. And I just want to make sure that we never forget that. So I've done my talk in a little bit different order today. I've got a slide that I use frequently, but I'm going to go ahead and use it first. And so if we can go here, if we can get over to my slides, I want to start out talking about our track record of success, because both of our speakers this morning have already been identified as $100,000 earners. Now let's just make sure it's very clear. When we talk about income levels at Primerica, we're talking about annual income. I know there are other opportunity companies and opportunity organizations out there, and they talk about their earners, but they start counting at the moment of birth and add it all together all the way up to the moment of presentation. Lifetime income. That's not the way we do it at Primerica. That's not the way the world thinks. We want to do it at annual income. And so you know at Primerica that we recognize these milestones. We recognize a lot of others too. But at $50,000 in a year or less, we'll also recognize you if you do it in less than a year. But if it takes you more than a year, we don't do it. $50,000 in income in a year or less, we'll give you a Financial Independence Council watch. $100,000 in a year or less, you get a Super Bowl, or I guess Grey Cup or Stanley Cup, according to what country you're in. A ring, we add a diamond to that ring for every additional $100,000 per year, and then we change it to the ruby ring, Miguel, at $1 million. And $1 million, put a little pressure on my friend Miguel last night today to get to that $1 million. He's on track. And so we've been doing this for the entire 42-year history of our company. We're a company that is 42 years old. We're 9 years old on April the 1st as a public company, but we're 42 years overall, been in business in Canada since our family arrived here in October of 1985. And so we've been around a long time. We got one heck of a track record. Let's look at the results for the first 40 years. The first 40 years, we created over 6,500 new first-time $50,000 earners, over 3,200 new first-time $100,000 earners, almost 3,300 diamonds added to those rings, and $78 million earners. Now those numbers are so big over such a period of time, I can't do the math in my head. I'm just an old football coach. I can't do that kind of math. So I said, would somebody figure out how many months there are in 40 years and divide those numbers by that number and tell me how many a month we've been doing? And so those are in the red boxes up there. Now think about this, folks. For 40 years, every single month on average, this company created 14 brand new first-time $50,000 earners. We don't count you if you do it the second time again. It's just the first time you do it. 14 a month, every month on average for 40 years. 7 new first-time $100,000 a month earners a month, every month on average for 40 years. 7 new additional $100,000, so a $200,000 earner, or a $300,000, or a $500,000, or $1 million, or a $2 million earner. 7 a month every month for 40 years, and then $2 million earners a year. That was our track record for the first 40 years. Who can get excited about that? That's one heck of a track record, right? Well, I want you to know that the times are special, because let's look at the first 2 years of our second 40 years. You see, right now we're not creating 14 new $50,000 earners a month. We're creating 24 new $50,000 earners a month right now. We're not creating 7 new $100,000 earners a month. We're double that now at 14 new $100,000 a month earners a month. We're not adding 7 diamonds to existing rings. We're adding 18 a month in the last 2 years. And folks, we're not creating 2 new $1 million earners a year for the last 4 years in a row. We've created 5 new $1 million earners a year at Primerica. That's a track record. That's a track record. And the reason I show you that is because everything else you hear today needs to be put in the context of this slide. Not what this slide says, but what this slide means. You see, what this slide means is Primerica's for real. Primerica's for real. We've been at this a long time. We've seen every nutcase political leader that you could have in either one of our countries. We got a bunch of them. Y'all got a bunch of them too. Every economic situation, every regulatory environment, every competitor that's shown up, that talked big for a while and gone away. We've seen it all. That's the track record of success. This is a real deal. The other thing that means is if that many people can do it, just like Miguel must have said yesterday, I wasn't here to hear it, but it was repeated, if that many people can do it, you can do it. You can do it because there's somebody in those numbers that are just like you. They come from where you come from. They look like you look. They have your funny accent or my funny accent. They have your level of experience or lack of experience. They have your age. They're too old just like you or too young just like you. It doesn't matter, folks. There's somebody up there. It means you can do it. Now, there's one other question I know skeptical Canadians are going to ask. Is it working like that in Canada? That's the whole company numbers, but does it work like that in Canada? Everybody knows the Canadian rule of 10%. If you're trying to figure out how much of anything Canada ought to have when you're taking the U.S. and Canada into consideration, Canada ought to be at least 10%. The population's about 10%. The economy's about 10%. It ought to be at least 10%. Does that make sense? So if we were doing at least 10% of those numbers in Canada, then Canada would be as strong as the rest of the company, right or wrong? Well, let's just look at the Canadian numbers because you ain't doing 10%. See, in the last 2 years, double that amount, 21% of the $50,000 earners have come from Canada. 2.5 times the 24% of the new $100,000 earners have come from Canada. And 15% of the diamond earners have come from Canada. 50% more than the rule of 10%. You see, the other thing that slide says is not only is it working, it's working best in Canada. Not only is there a track record of success, the best track record of success is in Canada. Not only are we at our best today, the place where the best of the best is right here in Canada. That's what that means. That's what that means. Folks, you got to take that away today as you hear these other speakers tell you how to build a business, how to think like a leader, how to grow like a leader. And you got to put it into that context that there's never been a better time. And there's never been a better place for you to make your dreams come true at Primerica than right here, right now. That's the thing I want you to know. The stage is set. The times have never been better. It's up to you to take advantage of what's going on out there. Folks, I'm so proud of this company. In July, I'll celebrate my 39th birthday. It's in this company. Okay, in this company. All right? I'll start my 39th year, actually, in July. I've been around this thing a long time, and I'm so proud of what we do. I'm so proud of what we do. I know there are critics, folks, today. There are critics of everything. There are critics of everything out there. If criticism is something that keeps you from succeeding, you'll never succeed in anything because everything is criticized. You got to look at the good. You got to look at what we're accomplishing, folks. What we do is so important. We're in the business. We exist to create financially independent families. That's why we're here. The reason I'm so excited about those numbers I just shared with you is that's us delivering on our commitment to create financially independent families among the people that are part of the Primerica team. Among those leaders, those men and women that come here and bet everything on building a Primerica business. We're delivering for them and helping them become financially independent families. But the other thing I'm excited about and I'm proud of is the way we do it is the right way. You see, the only way any of that income that I just showed you on those first slides was made is because we've helped a family get on the path to financial independence themselves. We've helped protect them. We've helped them save for the future. We've helped them get out of debt. We've done something to put them on the path to financial independence, and that's the only way we can be rewarded as a company. There is not a single dollar made by anybody at Primerica or by Primerica doing anything except helping other families get on the track to become financially independent families. Folks, this ain't soap and hope. That's not what we're about. We're not about pills, potions, creams, and lotions. We're doing something that is important. We're doing something that's life-changing. And we can put our heads on our pillows at night and we can be proud of who we are and what we've done. Now look, folks, we recognize being financially independent is not the most important thing in the world. Got that. Bobby's already talked about his company of priorities. But it's up there near the top, and I guarantee you it will enhance everything that's more important. If you want to follow your priorities, having some money is going to help you do it. I guarantee you. It's going to help you put feet on your thinking, feet on your priority, feet on your thoughts, and get things done. And so it can make the good things better when you're part of a financially independent family. We've said for 2019 that we don't want this to be a good year or even a great year. We want this to be the best possible year we can make it. A year of maximum impact in everything we do. We want to do the absolute best that can possibly be done. And not just have a good year or a great year, have the best year possible. And I'm so excited about the momentum that's building in our business right now as we continue to focus on the right things. You know, Norlin gave you the 4 fundamentals. I used to put them in a list. I've changed the shape of the way I list them right now. Today you need to be listening for how to be great at these 4 things: to recruit, field train, license, and promote. The reason they're not in a list is because in reality, after you become a recruit, you're working on the other 3 simultaneously. You're not doing one and then the other. You're doing all 3 at the same time. So we've got them on the same plane now, on the same level. And so if you're here today and you're wondering what steps you should take, and you've not committed to Primerica, the first thing you need to do is to commit. You need to be recruited. You need to recruit yourself and say, I'm in.
I'm in.
And then once you do that, you need to be working on those other 3 simultaneously. You need to be getting out in the field, getting field trained, understanding what our business is about, helping clients, seeing someone who's already licensed help in your warm market, building your team, expanding your warm market. When you've been field trained, you don't reduce the size of your warm market, you expand your warm market. You need to be working and getting licensed. And we've got all the systems in place to do that. You need to be working on your promotions. If there's not advancement, if there's not success in your business, in fact, if you're here today and you say, Glenn, I've been working on recruiting, field training, and licensing, but my business is stagnant, it's probably because you're not working on promotions. You're not working on getting your own promotion or getting your people promoted to the next level. Because one of the great powers of Primerica is people moving through our system and succeeding and achieving the next level of success and then the next level of success. Because that does not happen in the real world. People sit and stagnate out in a traditional job, and that's one of the frustrations. Don't allow that frustration to be part of your business. Have people who will be working on promotions all the time. You be working on your next promotion, your next level of success, your next income milestone all the time. And folks, we know what it takes behind that to make that happen. I shared this in the Dominican Republic, that for every fundamental, it takes a leader. It takes someone who's responsible to make that happen. You know, if you've got a small team, maybe you're here today and your team is you, then this means that you're all of these. You're the leader of all 4 of those. You're in charge of recruiting. You're in charge of field training. You're in charge of licensing. You're in charge of promoting. But as you get bigger, you're going to want to keep your finger on the pulse, but you're going to get other people involved and say, listen, I want you to be our recruiting czar on our team. You need to know everything about recruiting. You need to help us have the best recruiting presentation, the best out night presentation, the best kitchen table presentation. You need to help us have a tracking system to know who's being recruited. You need to be managing our contact list so that we know exactly who we can go out and see who we can follow up with. It's got to have a leader. You got to have a path. I shared at the DR. I used to call this a system, but I'm such a visual person. I realized that I don't know what a system looks like. I can't visualize a system, but I can visualize a path. I can visualize a path in the center of this room, and if I want to get from the back to the front, I know exactly what I have to do, where I have to go. I come right down this aisle, and I can see the destination on the other end of a path. I don't know what the destination of a system looks like. And a path works very well with that first topic, the leader, because the leader can lead you on a path. I don't know how a leader leads through a system. So you got to have a path, call it what you want, something so people know exactly what each step is in each of those 4 areas. And by the way, any other fundamental you're working on, and there are others, you got to have a follow-up system. Folks, I can tell you, we're in the people business, and the people business is like herding cats. And we're going to scatter from here, folks. It is no telling how many of us are just going to get lost going home today. Okay? That's the way humans are. We just kind of wander around and get lost, and you got to have somebody that's heard them, somebody that's following up, finding out where they are, herding them in the right direction, getting them to the right place. If you say, no, my business, we're just going to only recruit and have independent, self-sufficient human beings. I think there are only 2 of those on the planet. Your team is not going to get very big. You're going to have somebody that's helping follow up and herd your team. You got to be measuring what you're doing. You got to know. I love seeing Norlin put up the numbers. Put up the numbers. As she said, boy, we're transparent at Primerica. We got all the numbers out there for everybody to see. You need to know what your numbers are. You need to be measuring your business so you know when things are working and when they're not working, what's successful and what's not successful. And then you need to recognize the things that you want to happen most. Recognition won't do everything, but if you don't recognize, it'll die on the vine. Recognition won't solve a problem, but it keeps a great thing going. And so you need to have a great recognition program in your business. And so those are just a few of those things. I wish I could spend more time on you, but you're going to hear all about those all day today. Almost every speaker is going to say something that's connected to recruit, field train, license, and promote, and how to do those. And so I'll just share that with you to sensitize you so that you know what to listen for the rest of the day. Because you will get some great training, some great experience, some great wisdom from all of our leaders. And so what we want to do as a company is we want to provide you with the things that generate excitement around the right types of activities. That's what I believe one of our jobs as a company is, helping you with the environment, helping you with the motivation. Now, we can't do it all. We try to do things that apply to everybody, but you've got specific needs on your team that as a leader, you're going to have to stand in the gap. And you heard Bobby talking about trips to New York, another trip to the Dominican Republic, going to Bobby and Candy's home last night. All that stuff that the Go Cool team has decided is necessary in addition to what we're doing. Thank you, Bobby. You can just put it down on the screen. But the company is going to try to provide the generalities to get things to start, and you got to fill in the gaps. Does that make sense? Are y'all with me? Am I talking too fast in the Southern accent? Okay, I got to get out. I got a plane to catch, okay? So right now we're in the last week of Maximilian March. We got $1 million of additional bonus money on the line that if you choose to, you can participate in, along with a lot of other fun stuff to build excitement and just generate activity that you can plug into and use. And I hope you know something about this, because I may want to share an announcement with you that's never been made before. Would that be okay? Okay, you can keep a secret though, right? All right, so far in Maximilian March, we've got the 100 days of Maximum Impact Coin. How many people have your coin with you right now? Anybody got your Maximum Impact Coin? All right, see, you need to be using that. You need to be figuring it out. Post it on social media. Any of my leaders got your senior leadership coin with you? Okay, y'all don't forget that. All right, I got them both. All right, we've got the Future RVP Builders Payout. We've got a growth bonus for RVPs. We got the Builders Bash in Atlanta. We got the securities contest. All kinds of stuff going on at all times that you can plug into just to generate excitement and make your business fun, make it enjoyable, give you something to celebrate, give you something to recognize. And we made an announcement this last week that in the month of March, which is traditionally our largest month of the year, of the 12 months of the year, March is usually our biggest production month, that March production counts toward the convention incentives, toward all those bonuses in March, and now the next incentive trip. How about that? You're already competing. How many people were with us in the Dominican Republic in February? For those that you weren't, I'll give you a little news. The Dominican Republic was a lot better than Toronto in February, okay? And we're going to go on this trip next February. And so, would you like some information on where that trip might be? So, that trip could be to a beautiful desert mountain location in the upper left-hand corner. It could be to one of the great cityscapes of the world. It could be to a place with great amusement parks. It could be to a place with a beautiful beach and ocean. And so let me narrow it down some for you. Can I narrow it down some for you? Okay, you ready? You might want to write this down. It ain't going to be in Canada in February. That's all I know. It's not going to be in Canada in February. It'll be somewhere beautiful, but not in Canada in February, okay? Maybe Canada in the summertime, but not the next February trip. So you stay plugged in and you fight like crazy, because folks, understand the math. Our business is mathematically based. As much fun as we have, as much people, dynamics as we have around our business, there's always a mathematical base. The largest month of the year is the largest month of the contest. If you want to compete in this contest, you better be running wide open in March. You better close the month of March strong. And so there is one announcement I want to make with you that has not been made anywhere before, and that's that we're extending month in for the month of March. to 12 midnight Pacific time. Give the West Coast a chance. Those guys on the West Coast, they complain about y'all like crazy. There's such an advantage to being on the East Coast. Because you go to 6 p.m. Eastern Time, that's only 3 p.m. in California, in British Columbia. Heck, it's only 12 noon in Hawaii. How do you expect us? I think it's like the day before in Guam. I'm not even sure what time it is in Guam. And complain like crazy. So we said, enough of that. We're going to midnight Pacific Time to close out the month of March, 3 a.m. Eastern Time. So actually that goes from Monday, April 1st to 3 a.m. in the morning on Tuesday, April the 2nd. But what that means, folks, that's simply to drive home the point that you need to get all you can get in March. You need to have a gigantic month in the month of March. Even if you think you're not competing for any of that stuff, you still ought to have your biggest month ever in the month of March, because one day your records will become your averages. One day your records will become your averages. The sooner and bigger you can make your records, the bigger your averages are going to be in the future. So I want to challenge this team. I want to challenge this group. We'll make that announcement on Monday on TV. But I want to challenge this team to get all you can get in the month of March. Because, folks, what's on the line is so absolutely important. What's on the line here is so absolutely critical. We have a lot of fun. We enjoy ourselves. We laugh a lot. We try to have a different environment than people have in their regular jobs. We do that on purpose. But this is a serious business. This is about your life. This is about your priorities. So while we can laugh, while we can have fun, while we can do crazy incentives of all different kinds just to make it fun and give people something to celebrate, don't forget the seriousness of what's going on here. You're betting your life on this thing. You're betting your future on this thing. We heard Andrew use the word, you're betting your legacy on this thing. You've got to take this seriously. You've got to understand the power that you need to truly make this work. You know, already both speakers this morning have talked about your why. I want to spend just a minute on this because I don't want you to miss it. You can miss it. You can not take it seriously enough, in my opinion. But your why is absolutely critical to your life, I believe. Your why is the unlimited power inside you that drives you to fight. Even if you think you're not a fighter, you'll fight for your why. And I believe if nothing else happens today, if you could leave here crystal clear on what your why is, today would have been worth everything. Today would be life-changing. Even if you decide Primerica is not that for you, which I hope you don't make that decision. But even if you did and you knew what your why was when you left here, today would have been absolutely worth it. Because you see, I believe your why is the most powerful thing you have at your disposal on this earth as an earthly power to determine your success in life. To determine the success of your relationships, to determine the success of your vision, your dream, and your game plan. That's how powerful it is. And you know, the dangers are, if we've talked about it before and you go, yeah, Glenn, I got that, I know exactly what that is, then we tend to not take it seriously enough. We tend to let it get a little dusty and rusty and crusty and not call on it enough when we need it. But folks, I can tell you, life's going to be tough. Business is going to be tough. There are going to be times when you want to quit. There are going to be times when you're discouraged. There are going to be times when you go, yeah, all that crap sounded good, but it's not working for me. And there are going to be times when you're going to want to give up. And you're going to have to call on something that's going to reignite you. Not just keep you going, not just keep you surviving, but reignite you to take off like you've never taken off before. And folks, I believe that's your why. I believe that's that thing inside you that will cause you to never, ever stop. You see, I've heard people describe it as your why is powerful enough to make you cry. If there's not emotion around it, if there's not something that tugs at everything in you emotionally, you probably haven't found it yet. I got a different one for you. Is your why powerful enough that you die? Is your why powerful enough that you give your life for it? See, let's take this seriously, because there's an expression in life that I absolutely hate. I hate to hear somebody say that a dessert is so good is to die for. Or a movie so exciting, that's to die for. I hate that expression because you ain't going to die for that crap. All right? You are not going to give your life. You are not going to take a bullet, dive on a hand grenade, jump in front of a bus for any dessert. I'm sorry, you ain't going to do it. But is there something in life that's so important to you that you truly would give your life for? It brings up emotions inside you. Folks, if you can tap into that, and you can connect that to what you're doing with your life, man, that's a powerful combination. That is a powerful, powerful combination. At the convention coming up in Atlanta, we're going to do the white wall again that we did 4 years ago. Anybody remember that? Okay, and I believe this process is one of the most powerful things we can do, not just for our business, but for our lives. Because what we want people to do is we want people to consider what is your why, but not just think about it and go, yeah, I got that, it's my family. Obviously, it's my family, everybody's my family, I love my family, that's got to be it. My family's emotional, I cry for my family, I probably take a bullet for my family, it must be my family, of course it is. But I want you to think about the process of how do you illustrate that? How do you create a tangible representation of that? Because when you start to say, okay, I want to figure out how to explain this to the world when I'm not talking, just leave a symbol of it, an emblem of it, post it on the wall for the world to see. It takes you through a process that's pretty eye-opening. Because it makes you consider how do you want to communicate your why, but the real thing it does is what are you not going to put on there that you think is important, but it ain't really important. Because you didn't put everything on it. You want to keep it on an 8.5 by 11 sheet or maybe a poster board at most. And so you've got to really think through this. You've got to really grapple with this. And you've got to figure out how you're going to represent that. And you've got to make a tangible representation. I would encourage all of you that really want to capture the power of this to start doing this in your office now and have a why wall in your office right now. I know you guys do in your office, Miguel. And start that now, and then you'll take that or take a duplicate of it if you don't want to take it now and bring it with you to the convention. But have it be more than just a moment at the convention. Have it be something that people really grapple with. You see, knowing this was coming, and we're going to do it on TV on the special show on April the 6th, I've been working on mine. I've been working on mine, and I've been trying to figure out how is it, if I go first, if Karen and I go first, how is it that we can do something that captures it? It's so hard to capture and explain. And so I got a work in progress here, okay? And so obviously there's our family in the upper left-hand corner. There are our two little babies that moved back from Canada with us that were born here. Emily, who's 29, and Marshall, who's 24, along with Karen. And obviously it's all about my family. But it's not just about my family. What it's about is delivering for my family on the commitments that I've made to them. You see, it's not just about, man, I love my family. We all love our families. But is that going to drive you to do what you need to do? It's more than that. It's knowing that they have expectations. It's knowing that I have responsibilities. It's knowing that I stood at an altar and made commitments. I stood at my cribs and made commitments to both of our kids. And I've got to deliver on those. That's my why. It's not just them. Obviously, it's them. It's what I owe them. It's the balance that's due from me to them. That's what's important. That's what gets me out of bed every day. That's what, between the moment I wake up and I think, am I going to get up and get after it again? And about 5 seconds later, when my feet hit the ground, that's the process that I have to go through and say, I'm going at it again today, and I'm going at it wide open. It's because I've made commitments that I've got to deliver on. But folks, it's bigger than my family. It's bigger than my family. So there are a lot of people that I've made commitments to. I love our company logo because it represents 3 specific groups of people. Did you know that? The blue ring represents the field. The red ring represents our clients. The white ring represents our company, which is our employees and our shareholders and our board of directors. And you know what? I made commitments to all of them. They're dependent on me. They're people betting on me. There are people that are waiting on me to deliver for them to make sure the opportunity is what it should be. That the products are what they should be. That we can serve our clients the way we should. That we can deliver for our employees and our shareholders. Man, there's a lot of folks out there waiting on me. I better get up and get after it. That's my why. What's yours? What's yours? Is it just a great family? I hope your family is important to you. It should be. Or is it that you've got to deliver for them? The ones that are here in this generation, and what about the ones in generations to follow? What about them? You see, it's pretty easy to say we're going to survive this life. We're going to maybe we can make this life pretty good. We can enjoy it a little bit. But are you going to do enough that it's going to impact the generations to follow? Or are you truly going to leave that legacy that Andrew was talking about? You see, folks, you've got to consider all that. You've got to ponder all that. But let me tell you, when you do, when you get it, you will have your hands on a power that will make you absolutely unstoppable. You will not stop. You will not be discouraged. You will not get tired. You'll do whatever it takes to win at whatever you decide to do. And if it's Primerica, you'll win big at Primerica. You'll build a bigger business than you ever imagined if you're driven by that. So folks, I want to challenge you today to figure out what that is. Don't just click it, don't just check it off. Wrestle with it a little bit. That's what we say in Georgia. Wrestle with it a little bit, all right? Wrestle with it some. Grapple with it some. Make sure that you fight with it and come up with the right thing, and then you can call on that power to drive you, because this is a tough business. Folks, it's absolutely worth it, but it's a tough business because it's a people business. And that makes it tough. But it's absolutely worth it because you can deliver on every single commitment that you've made to all the people that are important to you. Those are the ones that are important to me. My family, all of you as our field leaders and our teammates, all of our clients that have expectations of us, and all of the members of our company. That's what's important to me, is delivering to them and delivering for them. What about you? What about you? You know, I love a little time pressure in life. It's always great to have a little positive pressure on you. You know, people say, I hate pressure. Without pressure, we don't do very well as human beings. We need the right kind of pressure, the right amount of pressure to get the best out of us as human beings. And I love the time pressure. As of today, we're 88 days away from this event in Atlanta, Georgia. How many are going to be at the convention with us in Atlanta in June? Folks, you need to be there. You need to be there. It's truly, truly a life-changing experience. But as much as being there and being an attendee, you need to be there and be part of the celebration. You need to use the next 88 days and use that time pressure as something positive to get you going faster than you're going now. No matter how fast or how slow you're going, I guarantee you there's another gear. And if you say, I'm going to do something great in the next 88 days, I'm going to be recognized. I'm going to double by the bins, and I'm going to get recognized. I'm going to earn my future jersey. I'm going to get promoted and come across that stage. I'm going to get my ring or add a diamond to my ring and come across that stage. I'm going to make that event about me. That makes it even better. It'll be life-changing if you just come as a participant, but it'll be unbelievable when you come and the celebration is about you. Folks, use this next 88 days as some positive time pressure to get something awesome done. Get something life-changing done. Get you moving. And then join us for that incredible celebration. It will be unlike any other event we've ever had at Primerica. You know, our registration is about 12% ahead. We're at double-digit growth of the Indianapolis event. It'll be our biggest event ever. Most exciting event ever. That facility is the greatest facility for this kind of event. It is an unbelievable technological marvel. And we're going to have so much fun there, but really we're going to change lives as a result of what happens there. Folks, make a commitment to be there. If you're not registered, you can't win any of that crap that I was just talking about. You can't get a bonus, you can't get a coin, you can't go on a trip, you can't get extra credit. So you need to be registered already. But we need to see you there, folks, in 88 days. Let me just leave you with this. I was thinking about this last night, and I meant to mention it last night, but I'm actually glad I saved it for today. Because I want you to be thinking about this today as you hear so many of the great speakers that you'll be hearing. You've got the greatest lineup of speakers you could possibly ask for to get inside your head, but more important, get inside your heart and get you moving in this business using everything you have. Listen to this. You might want to write this down. Nothing is preventing you from achieving your dreams. Nothing is preventing you from achieving your dreams that is beyond your control. Nothing is preventing you from achieving your dreams that is beyond your control. What does that mean? If something is preventing you, it's not beyond your control. That means whatever's preventing you is within your control. Whatever's in your way is within your control. Whatever's stopping you, you can control it. You can defeat it. You can overcome it. It's within your control. And starting today, it's time for you to control it. Stop blaming others. Stop blaming circumstances. Stop blaming the economy or the weather or the politics. Stop blaming whatever out there. None of that is in your way. Whatever's in your way is something that's within your control. Use this event to figure out what that is. Use this event to overcome it. And at Primerica, make your dreams come true. I'm so proud of this great team. I'm so proud of the legacy builders. I got one final thing I'll share with you. At this convention, that'll be in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. We're doing something we've never, ever done before. We're recognizing for the first time in the company's 42-year history our Circle of Champions. The Circle of Champions is the greatest of the great at Primerica, the biggest of the big at Primerica. There'll probably be about 30 to 40 teams. Out of 130,000 plus, out of $88 million earners, less than half will qualify as Circle of Champions members. One of the teams that's on track at this moment to qualify is the Legacy Builders. One of the teams on track right now. By the way, right now, there will be about 25 on track. This is one of the teams. You'll be identified at the convention as a Circle of Champions team. Your lanyard that your credentials hang on will be a Circle of Champions lanyard. So that the entire team will be recognized as a Circle of Champions team. Folks, I want you to dominate that. I want the talk of the convention to be, can you believe how the Legacy Builders have dominated and become one of the Circle of Champions teams as the charter members of that group? That's how good you are. That's how great your leadership is. I'm so proud of what you've done already, but I'm even prouder of what you're going to do in the future. Thank you for your time today. Thank you for being here. And God bless each and every one of you. And may God bless Primerica.
Address and inspire a bunch of people to change their lives. Folks, great leaders, they don't have Monday to Friday. When you decide to make a decision that you're going to make a difference in the lives of the people, there ain't no convenient day. And we are so blessed. And we've got a leader who's doing that. So on behalf of all Legacy Builders, we want to give them a small token of our appreciation. But the biggest thing is what? To whom much is given, much is expected. All right, thank you very much, Glenn. We appreciate you. Have safe travels. And we know that those folks in Orlando are going to be fired up, but we know that Legacy Builders, watch what's going to happen by 3 a.m. April 1st. We're going to show that, hey, Glenn, you put us at the top of your priority. And we deliver. Is that a deal?